So I think we can start. It is 5:30. Dr. Tamaya sir?
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I think we can
Shall we
start.
start?
Yes.
Yeah. Chaitana, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Good evening, friends. Greetings to one and all. It gives me immense warmth and great pleasure to grace all of your presence in the interest of the entire committee. I welcome you all for the second day of the second session of the workshop, a 3-day workshop on the essence of effective communication. I feel honored to welcome our resource person of today's session, Professor Chaitana, on behalf of Padma Shri Institute of Management and Sciences, and on behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a very warm welcome to you. Welcome, Chaitana.
Thank you.
And I also welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Anuradha Madam, to this session. And also, I extend my welcome to my fellow colleagues and student friends for taking a keen interest in this important program. I'm sure that you all will enriched with the knowledge after completion of this event. I welcome you all once again to the workshop and hope that you all will have a great time ahead. And before I hand over to Chaitana, I'll just try to give a brief introduction to Professor Chaitana. Professor Chaitana is working as an associate professor in the Department of English, and also she was the chairperson of the Department of English of Maharani Cluster University. Chaitana is a subject expert to interview and selected the candidates for the different colleges across Bangalore for UG colleges. To name them few, she had been the subject expert for Surana College and MS Ramaya College, Dayanand Sagar College, etc. Indu, mute them now. Click on. Yeah.
All of you kindly mute yourself once you join. It's disturbing the session.
Yeah. Professor Chaitana, also the chairperson of Board of Studies of Maharani Cluster University. Chaitana also worked as a member of Board of Studies of Bangalore University. Even she is the external Board of Studies member to Bangalore University at present. She had also delivered lectures at various colleges across Bangalore, and she has presented papers in various national and international seminars. She has also published many papers in reputed journals in national and international level. She has authored many books, and she is also a co-author of Spoken English for Corporate Jobs. So with this small introduction, I request our beloved friend and my dear Professor Chaitana to take over the session. Professor Chaitana, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Tamaya. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, respected Principal Madam, Dr. Anuradha, Padma Shri Institute, Vice Principal, Dr. Tamaya, Padma Shri Institute, and General Secretary of BUTA, faculty of Padma Shri Institute, friends, and dear students. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Principal Madam, Dr. Tamaya, and Padma Shri Institute for inviting me to be a part of this public platform. And I also take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Tamaya for bringing out this work, this book, Spoken English for Corporate Jobs, at such a short notice. It was not an easy task, but he has accomplished it. And I would also like to say a few words about Dr. Tamaya, because I have seen him. He gives us, as an English teacher, he's always been doing amazing work for related to academics. He's been responsible for bringing out the textbooks for Bangalore University. He's been responsible for bringing out this book, Spoken English for Corporate Jobs. He's been arranging workshops, conferences, seminars. He's been solving a lot of teachers' issues. He takes up causes and he fights for the causes of teachers' issues. It's not just one thing, there's so many things. And I really, on behalf of personally and on behalf of the English fraternity, I would like to thank him. And I would also like to wish him more and more success in all his future endeavors.
Thank you, Chetana. Thank you for introducing me. Thank you.
I'm sure your college and your students know about you.
Yeah.
But I just took this opportunity to say what I wanted to say.
Thanks. Carry on.
Okay. So with this, I think we shall begin the session. In today's presentation, I have taken the topic English for Front Desk Management, Unit 1 of the Open Elective Paper, Spoken English for Corporate Jobs. English for Front Desk Management includes many components, which are greeting, welcoming, dealing with complaints, giving instructions, directions, giving information about the various facilities like distance, area, local specialities, consultation and solution of problems, accepting praise and criticism, and apologizing. So these components come under front desk management, and we are going to study one by one. We shall take up one by one and try to understand what it means in regarding spoken English skills, how to develop spoken English skills for corporate jobs. First, let's try to understand what is front desk management. A front desk is the epicenter of any business firm. It is the core of any business firm. It's a crucial connective link between the firm and the customers or the clients. It's a place where the impressions, good impressions can be made. This is the place where you can create a good impression about the company. The front desk will always have a front desk manager and the supporting staff. The front desk manager and the supporting staff will oversee all the operations of the front desk, like greeting, welcoming, scheduling appointments, making calls, taking calls, addressing clients' queries. It could be managing budgets. It could be filing, typing. It could be photocopying. It could be emailing. The front desk manager has a lot of responsibilities on his hand. He is responsible for hiring and training the staff members. He takes care of all the front desk responsibilities, like managing the budget, tending to complaints, giving information, maintaining records, and so on and so forth. So together, the front desk manager and the supporting staff will see to it that they give good customer service to the clients. This front desk can be called differently in different industries. It is also called as the reception desk in certain industries. It's all the front office in certain industries. So whatever it is, you have the front office, you will have the middle office, and you will have the back office. And all these three should work in tandem so that there is a smooth running of business, smooth running of the business affairs in the company. Now, we move on to the first aspect, component of front desk management, which is greeting and welcoming. Greeting and welcoming actually go hand in hand. They go together. So as soon as a client enters a firm office, a corporate office, he approaches the front desk. Atiti Devo Bhava, we say. That's a saying I'm sure you're all aware of. When guests come to your house, how do you treat them? It's the same when when we are greeting the guests who come into the corporate offices. So as soon as the client enters and approaches the front desk, it's the duty of the front desk manager and the supporting staff to greet the person. I'm sure you all know greeting is very, very common. Greeting happens everywhere, anytime, any place, with everybody, because that is how the first communication takes place. So greeting is actually the basics of communication, and it actually helps you to connect at a very personal level. It's very friendly and it's very polite that you say something when you meet a person. And how do you greet them? The greeting should be, you should extend a very warm greeting. It should be very confident. There should be a certain etiquette in greeting a person, a grace in greeting a person. Of course, there are certain tips which you need to know so that you can come out better when you are greeting a person. Which are the tips? Now let's look at the tips. Tamaya, are you putting on the slides? Slides?
Yeah.
I don't see.
It is not.
I'm not visible. It's not visible on my.
Indo,
Okay.
you can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I changed it. Yeah, it's here. It's here. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had to remove something. Yeah. So tips on how to greet a person, what you should remember. Okay. So it's quite common, and I'm sure everybody knows how to greet a person, but still there are certain tips which you should keep in mind, bear in mind, and which will be very, very effective. Stand up. When the client comes into your office, stand up and greet the person. Maintain eye contact with that person. Have a smile on you. First, introduce yourself so that it helps in a very good start. Offer a handshake, which is very important. And I think you can introduce, in business, you can introduce less important people to more important people. When you're greeting, after the greeting, you may have to introduce one person to the other. When you're greeting the person, you can use the names of the clients if you know them, if they've come for the second time. Avoid using first names in the first meeting itself because they may get offended. Be respectful. For example, let's see how you can greet a person. So a client enters your office and you greet him like this. Good morning, sir. If you know him, good morning, Mr. Shanai. How do you do? Good to see you again. Good morning, sir. How may I help you? You have to do this having eye contact, offering a firm handshake with a smile. You have to greet the person. After greeting the person, immediately welcoming follows. How do you welcome the person? A sincere, warm, and friendly welcome will have a very positive impact on clients. The most important uh, in the field of business is that you have to greet them and welcome them with warmth and politeness. It's most important because it helps to build long-lasting relationships. How do you go about welcoming the person? As soon as the client enters, you greet them with a warm hello and ask them, how may I help you? Offer a firm handshake, make them feel welcome, offer them a seat to sit down, show them that you care for them, dispel their anxiety and stress, because definitely they will have certain stress, when they come to a business firm on some business. Dispel their anxiety, dispel their stress, order something for them like coffee or tea, and start, you know, uh, asking questions to them as to why, the reason as to why they've come there, what is the purpose, so that, when you ask questions, it helps you to connect with them. And it also makes them feel very comfortable and makes them feel at home in the business, in the corporate office. Probably, an example is, after greeting them, how may I help you? And you can say a warm welcome to you, sir. We would be very delighted to, have business with you. So this is how you welcome clients to your office. We move on to the next component, which is dealing with complaints. Dealing with complaints, I'm sure, it's a very natural human tendency to complain about anything and everything. It's a very natural tendency. You know, if, if it's too hot, we complain. If it's cold, we complain. If there is rain, we complain. If there is no water, we complain. So much so in any sector, okay, in any industry. It could be education industry, it could be health industry, it could be hotel industry, it could be hospitality industry, any industry. It's very common that people keep complaining about certain aspects which they don't like. Probably their satisfaction, their expectations will not be satisfied, and that is when they complain. This is very common in the corporate sector. I'm looking at all these components related to corporate sector. Now, how do you deal with these complaints then? Actually, complaints are nothing but, the clients pointing out the flaws which are present in the working of the business firm. The complaints could be big or small. Okay, it can be about a minor detail, it can be about a major problem. It could be minor, like, probably, there was no, the working staff are not punctual, they're not disciplined. Okay, probably the taxi didn't pick them up on time. Okay, these are some of the complaints. Some other complaints also could be like non-availability of a product. Okay, they may have ordered for a product and the dispatch would be very delayed. If the product is not of good quality, if the product doesn't last long, and probably sometimes when they have given a complaint and the complaint is not followed up, okay, and the problem persists. And there could be many, many more complaints. Okay, but the firm, the corporate office should see to it that these problems, complaints are addressed. Otherwise, the firm may lose some of the best clients, some of the best customers. Now, how do you deal with these complaints? So that is what we are going to learn. These are the skills which we have to learn when working in a corporate sector. The first thing is listen to the client, listen to the reason for the complaint. Why are they complaining? And then render an apology immediately for the mistake committed, for the whatever errors committed. Because sometimes these customers, these clients will be looking only for an apology. Okay, they want their the business people to kind of accept that they have done some mistake. So once an apology is rendered, immediately the problem gets solved. Those people accept the apology and move ahead. Next thing, what you should do, you should find the root cause of the problem and try to solve it. After rendering an apology, try to find the root cause. And you have to, because you don't know where, what is the cause of the complaint and where is the root cause for it. So you have to dig deep and find the root cause. You have to solve it. Probably the customer service team will be able to handle the problems and the issues. Keep track of the complaints. You just can't, solve one complaint and leave, because there will be complaints coming in. Keep track of the complaints. Take feedback of the complaints after it is resolved, and be one step ahead of their expectations so that it keeps them happy. Monitor the regular complaints regularly. You have to monitor, because if you don't monitor the complaints, there is a tendency for the clients to express or share their unhappiness on social media, which may go viral. So you have to see to it that you monitor social media as well. Be very proactive in handling customer complaints. So we move on to the next component of front desk management, where they are supposed to be giving instructions and directions to the clients who come asking for any information or queries. Given instructions and directions are actually guidelines which enable people to perform tasks. Instructions and directions are actually, it's nothing but exchanging information. Usually it can be oral, it can be written. I'm sure you're all very familiar with instructions, directions, because in colleges your teachers will be directing you to do certain tasks, to perform certain tasks. Instructions, it's very common to see in colleges on the notice boards. Your teachers will be instructing you on certain tasks. When you buy any electronic devices, instructions are given in the form of booklets. Any cooking recipe will have on its wrapper instructions as to how to use it, because instructions, directions are very important when the person won't be aware of how to go about it. So instructions and directions are very, very important in the in the functioning of the corporate sector. Directions, if we try to understand the difference between instructions and directions, directions are orders and they're less forceful than instructions. Directions could be like the boss telling his subordinate, submit the project on time. do the presentation tomorrow. Just directing the person to do something. It's like an order. Whereas instructions are also orders, commands, and they are steps which are required, okay, to complete a task. These are, they have a tone of authority, and they're also very detailed. They're also very specific. Imperative forms are used when giving instructions, and instructions are usually stepwise. So instructions, usually an instruction will have two parts. The first part is called as the sequencers, and the second part is the actions. Sequencers are nothing but the adverbs, like, which give you stepwise instructions, instructions are given stepwise, meaning what you have to do first, and then next what you have to do. So, and these sequencers, you have to know these sequencers, because that is how, instructions will make sense. So it could be, when you're starting something, it could be firstly, uh, initially, in the beginning, and then secondly, then next, thirdly, after that, finally, ultimately. So these are the, sequences which help to give instructions stepwise. We also have actions. Actions are nothing but telling the person what to do. So, I mean, to help the person to perform. So instructions can be, like, how do you use a device, or how to prepare a presentation? How do you take a printout? How do you use a new mobile phone? How do you, photocopy? So it could be anything which can be asked for your exams, and you should be able to write stepwise instructions. Okay, I think this will be for, I'm not sure about the marks, but you will be asked certain things like this. Okay. With After giving instructions and directions, we move on to the next component, which is giving and asking information. The clients, when they come into the corporate
Excuse
office.
me, Arshini, mute yourself. Arshini? Yeah, go on, Chaitanya, sorry.
That's it. When the clients come to have business, okay, in your corporate firm, they may tend to stay for a few days in the city, so they may ask for information, and clients may come asking for information about the place, about the city, about food, about travel, about accommodation, about local specialities, about clothes. It could be anything. So it's very important that the front desk gives the correct information to the clients. When giving information, use a language which everyone understands. Use concise, precise words, very clear. Visual aids can also be used for emphasis, meaning you can show certain visual pictures which will make a better impact on them. Probably you can, provide them with a traveler's guide. You can provide them with a brochure which will have all the information which they require, and you can brief them about it. You can explain to them about it. The way of asking for information could be, for an example, you can go to the front desk, the manager, and you can ask, "Excuse me, sir, it would be of great help if you can provide details about the new venture which you have started. Could you please brief us about the local specialities around here? Could you please brief us about the tourist spots in the city we would like to visit?" So this is, some of the queries, asking for information, which the clients would ask. How do you reply to these requests? Probably you can say, sure, sir, I would be very happy to brief you about it. Sure, sir, it's my pleasure to explain to you about this. So this is how, clients ask for information, and this is how you need to go about giving them information. We move on to the next component, which is accepting praise and criticism, which is, again, a very common factor in a corporate sector. It's not only in the corporate sector, it could happen in any kind of, any industry for that matter. Accepting praise and criticism. In a work environment, interpersonal skills will definitely help in managing complex issues, challenges, and day-to-day tasks. Interpersonal skills, the front desk manager and the supporting staff really need to have good interpersonal skills so that they can handle both compliments and criticism. Clients can be very, sometimes they can be very kind, sometimes they can be very rude. So we need to, the company people need to be prepared to accept both. Let's begin with accepting compliments. I think accepting compliments is not, it's a very easy task. I'm sure everybody will be happy if you are complimented on any kind of issues, be it your work, be it your appearance, okay, be it your speaking skills, communication skills. I'm sure we are all very happy when somebody compliments us. When somebody compliments you, simply say thanks in an accepting and a grateful way. That is how you accept compliments. There are two ways in as to how you handle compliments. There is one positive assertion, and the other one is positive inquiry. Meaning, when somebody tells you, for example, the presentation was excellent, you can say, thank you, sir. And you can also kind of make an inquiry saying, what appealed to you the most, sir? Or what was good about the presentation? Or what was good, thank you, sir, what was good about the project? Which part of the project was good? So in this way, you need to accept the compliments which are given to you by your clients. It's not just compliments. We move on to accepting criticism. Accepting criticism, I'm sure, is not a very easy. It's not going to be very easy because it is something which each individual feels that it's something like an attack on yourself. It is not easy. Sometimes criticism may hurt you. It may make you feel bad. It may make you feel go into depression. And some people don't take it in a good way. They may react violently to criticism. But one thing we all need to learn when you work in a work environment, we need to learn certain rules. First thing, when somebody criticizes you, don't take it personally because it's not directed at you. It is just another person's opinion. And if you find that there is truth in what they have, why they have criticized you, try to improvise yourself on that aspect. And probably that will make you a better person. Again, you have two ways of handling criticism: a negative assertion and negative inquiry. For example, if a manager says the project isn't up to the mark, you can always say, Sir, can you clearly state what was lacking in the project? What was not good in the project? Where is the lacuna? So in this way, you can assert yourself and ask the reason why they have criticized your work. Or if it's a client, find out why they are criticizing. Usually it's, they complain. Okay, so criticism and all will be within the, company employees. So you can always ask why, the reason, inquire and then try to improvise yourself. Criticism can also be good constructive criticism. This will definitely help a person to improvise himself. It will help him to gain greater heights because that person takes it to heart and he works on his weaker points, aspects, and moves ahead. That's what is required. Sometimes we also have destructive criticism. Destructive criticism is nothing but negative feedback. It's usually a personal attack, okay, on a person. It's a personal attack on somebody, and it can harm one's self-esteem. But there's no need to fear them. You don't have to be afraid of this destructive criticism because, we have to understand why that is, being thrown at you. You have to realize why it's being thrown at you. And of course, if you feel very bad about it, you can always take the help from the HR department or any other department to solve this issue. Next, we move on to this component, which is apologizing. Apologizing is, I'm sure everybody, we do that on a regular basis. Okay. A simple sorry has a lot of power. If you say sorry, many times it can set things right between friends, between clients and the company, between business partners. A simple sorry, definitely, okay, sometimes has a lot of power. And apology is to say sorry. Why? Because you've caused pain intentionally, or it could be unintentional. Sometimes it's intentional also. But you have to say sorry for causing pain, for causing hurt to the other person. Once you say apologize, it really helps in building good relationships. It helps in maintaining good friendships also. It shows that you care about the other person's feelings, about the other person's emotions, and that you respect them. Maybe due to some reasons, because of certain situation, you may have, acted very aggressively. You may have done something to hurt them, but an apology rendered will definitely soothe the relationships. An apology, excuse me, has to be rendered at the right time and at the right place. Why should you apologize? It could be for various reasons, like sometimes you may have broken the rules, sometimes you're not punctual, sometimes you're yelling at subordinates, sometimes you've lost certain important documents, maybe you have lied to your boss. It could be any reason, but this has to be set right. And how can this be set right? You have to go and render an apology. Just saying sorry may set right everything sometimes. I told you, usually it sets right everything, but sometimes it may not. Maybe that person will not be ready to accept your apology. But whatever it is, when somebody apologizes, we need to accept it and acknowledge, because life becomes easier and simpler when you render and accept apologies. Now we move on to the next component, which is consultation and solution of problems. And this is going to be the last unit of my presentation today. Let's try to understand this component. What's consultation? I'm sure you're all aware of it. Consultation is nothing but seeking advice from an expert or from a professional. Consultation and problem solving are very, very essential, important norms in a corporate workforce. Consultation is nothing but the purpose of consultation is to solve the problem. First, you have to hear out the problem, the person's needs, identify how to solve it. A plan of action should be identified, and then try to accomplish the goal which has been set. A consultant usually arranges a meeting and wherein he offers advice to solve the problems. Consultation could be anything. We go to a doctor for consultation, probably, we go to, probably after PUC, certain parents, they go and meet a consultant as to find out which, professional course would best suit their children. So, we have different types, okay, of consultation. Let's move on to problem solving. Problem solving is a very important part of business consultation. All the company employees should be trained, okay, to solve these problems. Problem solving and decision making, they are hand in hand, they always go together. Because sometimes what happens, there are issues, there are problems which can be identified, but if it's not solved, you're at a loss. The company may suffer loss. Sometimes the problems will be identified, but if decisions are not given on time, again, that also leads to bigger problems. Now, how do we do this problem solving? Okay, so there's a problem, and the problem, the client has come to the consultant. So how do we go about solving this problem of theirs? The first thing, identify the problem, convey it. This problem has to reach out to the different teams, okay, who are going to be affected directly or indirectly. This problems, it could be related to any department. So it has to be conveyed to those particular departments, and all minor details and major details have to be taken into consideration. See, these are all very complex issues. It's not just some minor problem. There are complex issues, and everything has to be dealt with in the right way. Second, gathering data. Gather relevant, gathering data. Gather relevant information which is related to the problem. Don't take unwanted data, unwanted information, because that may actually delay the process, and we don't want to waste any time in trying to solve the problem. The third will be brainstorming on possible solutions. So how to solve the problem? You can just come up with one solution. There may be many solutions to it, and how best to do. You can have a brainstorming session. You can first, an individual first can do this brainstorming, and then as a team, a brainstorming session can be done, and many ideas may crop out, come out, and you have many solutions at hand. Next, D, you have to narrow down the solutions. I think the next slide, Tamaya. Narrow down the solutions. So you may have plenty of ideas on hand. You have to choose the best top 5 solutions. And I think this probably can be done through SWOT analysis, through pros and cons list, through scenario analysis. And you come up with the top 5 solutions. And while doing that, you will have those 5 top solutions. Next, you go with the best solution, the optimal solution. When you have to choose the final solution, you have so many, 5 solutions at hand, you have to choose the best. How do you choose it? See to it that the company's, interests are first looked into. Okay, it has to be in the best interest of the company. And then whatever solution you have come up with may not be liked by others. Others may not be happy with it, but you don't have to worry about it. You can make them realize that this was the best. And very soon they will accept it. And that will definitely solve the problem. Problem solving, what we did right now, how to go about solving problems and making decisions. It's not an easy task because this requires certain skills. Certain skills definitely need to be developed. Okay, when you are going to involve yourself in consultation and problem solving. Which are these skills? Quickly, I'll just read out. You need to have analytical skills, capability, analyzing capability. Quick thinking, quick thinking is another important skill, so that there is no delay. Adaptability, one has to adapt oneself to the various aspects. You may something may not suit you, but something may not please you, but you should be ready to adapt. Logical reasoning, there should be logic, there should be a reasoning power. You should have good communication skills, good team skills, leadership skills, critical thinking skills are of utmost importance. Perseverance, you just can't give it up. You give up. There's nothing like giving up. Okay, you need to move ahead with the solving of the issue. Motivation skills, cooperation, negotiation skills, so on and so forth. It's not just these skills, there are so many other skills as well. With these skills, okay, I'm sure a consultant or a company will be able to solve the problems of the clients. What are the advantages of problem-solving skills? Better risk handling. Problem-solving skills, it helps in gaining confidence of your capability. You gain confidence, once the problem is resolved, I'm sure it gives you a lot of confidence, and it's a kind of pat on your back so that you've done something really good. It helps in better communication. Problem-solving skills helps to build intra-team communication, inter-team communication, intra-team communication. It helps in improved productivity. This problem solving, these skills will help you to look out for the best solution and, and for a very effective solution. You also need to have a proactive mindset. This, a proactive mindset will enable you to identify, analyze, and execute the solution regarding any specific problems. So, define, generating, evaluating, analyzing, and selecting the best solution is possible only when one has mastered all the problem-solving skills. With this, I come to the end of my presentation. And I would also like to say this, that, in a corporate sector, the corporate people may be very good at, what technical skills, they may be good at what business skills, they may be good at finance, they may be good at, accountancy, HR departments, they may be good in so many other things. But the most important and foremost is that corporate people need to have good spoken English skills, good communication skills, which will definitely help in the smooth functioning of a corporate office. Herein, I conclude my presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you one and all. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you very much, Chetna, and it's open for questionnaires.
Madam, good evening. This is Shankar Murthy, ma'am.
Oh, good evening, Shankamurthy. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. You have given wonderful presentations on front desk management and how to greet the clients and the customers and all.
Thank you.
Fine, madam.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
all
you.
good. But the situation, like sometimes there will be a mishap happens either in the corporate sector or any field for that matter. The people who are working in the front desk, management, any designation for that matter. If rowdies, gundas, or some syndicate people, they came with a pressure group and with a lethal, weapons and all. What is the plan? One should have to take a precaution, madam.
If it is too sudden, nothing can be done. Okay, if it's all planned and if they suddenly descend upon the corporate offices, nothing can be done. Probably these corporate people have to telephone the police and seek protection, because we have seen this happening. Okay, any strike, any kind of galata, it could be a death of a person, it could be something against a corporate sector. Immediately we have I have seen many instances where people just go and start throwing stones at the corporate offices. Because
particularly, madam, I'm sorry, particularly the hospitals, the corporate hospital and all, death occurs, the mass people, they will assemble and throw stones, and they extend up beating the HR and other people.
Yes, they do that. Yes. Actually, this can happen. It's not only there; it can happen anywhere. Okay, so it's like, if the corporate people are smart and alert, probably if they come to know that this is going to happen, I'm sure they will take care, they'll seek protection, and they will see to it that, nothing untoward like that happens. But if it's too sudden, if they encroach upon the premises, if they attack, I'm sure immediately the manager, the entire corporate office people should face them, tell them, speak to them at face to face and ask them what's the problem, and try to resolve the issue. Try to, if they don't listen, if they are targeted, attacked, and hit, nothing can be done about it. I'm sure those people will later be going to jail. But if there are, if they can talk, have one-to-one talk, face-to-face talk, and try to resolve the issue, nothing better than that. I'm sure these corporate people are equipped to deal such situations. Okay, they are trained, they are equipped, because they have seen such untoward events happen.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Next question. Ashwini Somana.
Ashwini was telling me that she wants to sit and listen to my talk because it's been a long time since she has listened to my
Is there?
lecture.
Ashwini?
I know she told me.
Yeah. Students?
I don't know, probably they've not listened to my lecture or maybe.
Yeah, no. They have listened. I think they have understood everything. Either of two reasons.
Hmm.
Guys,
What is the reason? What is the reason, sir? Two reasons.
two reasons.
Either they've listened or
They are
they've not
listening,
listened.
madam. They are listening, madam. Whether
Okay.
madam will give important question for the examination or not.
Oh,
Sir, in our college, we have not taken this. Since it is our
Okay.
team who have done it for that purpose, I'm listening. That's it.
Yeah,
So
let's go on
important-
for the YouTube
Yeah.
record.
No,
Let us-
I am talking
let us
about
be a
student,
more
not you.
formal.
Ashwini.
Talking about student or
So students,
questions regarding this paper, I'm sure it's not going to be difficult at all. You may be asked more about consultation and problem solving strategies.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, dealing with complaints, how to deal with complaints. These are the questions which can be asked for 5 marker or a 10 marker. Otherwise, it's all very simple. How do you greet a person? How do you welcome a person? Write a note on apologizing. How do you pass on information? These are all very, simple questions. Which
I think it's been given in the textbook also.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
You
yes,
can
yes.
refer those. Definitely the questions which
will
they
be
are going
asked
to
from
ask,
the text.
text only.
Yeah,
Text only. They
because,
won't ask any out of
Yeah.
text questions.
This year, because it's new, the NEP syllabus is new and it's for the first time. So everything is going to be a kind of simple.
Yeah, that's the reason we have framed this, we have released this book
Yeah.
because to help the student community
Yeah.
to not to have difficulty facing the examination. That's a primary intention. We have not made this for a commercial purpose. We have not sold it anywhere. We have just released it soft copy through online. Only PDFs we have released. So to help the student community. Any doubts, any clarification you have? My students can ask me in the class also. They will come and ask me about this. But about other students, students are joined from Kengeri First Grade College with the support of Dr. Shankar Murthy.
They can send chat. I mean,
Yeah.
on chat, they can send if they
Definitely,
don't want
that's
to
what
ask.
I'm asking. If you are hesitant to ask, you can just post your question to your coordinator, your teachers. Shruti is from Government First Grade College, Pina, is also informed the students.
Okay.
I think both the college students are attending. If you have any queries, you can just pass on to your teacher. Any more questions? If not, I'll conclude the workshop session. Any more?
Professor, I am sorry to bother you again.
Yes.
Professor, see, forget about corporate sector. See, how in a government college like ours, how can we set a model for this one, front desk management? Could you brief it, please? How can we set it, the model during when the students come for admission, freshers and all?
I think colleges have been doing that. We just say probably it's the reception desk or, it's known under different names. So, at the reception desk, I'm sure applications are, given and they have to, take in the filled in form applications and, but I don't know about, complaining and, all these, probably a suggestion box can be put up where, they can give their, suggestions or complaints, they can be put into that box. And they can approach the teachers if they have any problem solving probably. And I'm sure, yes, as you say, consultancy, and problem solving strategies are very much required in a college, at the education level, but we don't have that.
Yes, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we have a class representative and they will in turn
No, at the
Yeah.
bigger level, like even
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
students
Then
as well as teachers. Yeah.
Definitely. Student coordinator will be there in the college. HODs will be there. They would be definitely communicating to them. But yeah, basically, we don't have that setup, kind of a corporate setup.
Front
But-
desk is mostly hospitality.
Yeah, definitely.
Then you have other, reception
Yeah,
desk,
the
which
college
works.
like Padma Shri, Jyoti Niwas,
Yes.
and all these people they have.
Yeah.
Particularly the college like covers government sector.
Yeah, we don't
have, madam.
yes.
There is, that's what.
There is a wide
It is required, in fact,
gap.
it's needed.
Yes. Private
you.
colleges definitely have, a front
Yes.
desk which manages everything, which caters to the students' needs. Yeah, but not government colleges. I don't know how we can go about doing that.
Yeah, thank you. It's an interesting point. And see, the feedback form is posted again in the chat box. Indu, can you post it again? Please click on that link and you please give your valuable feedback. That would encourage us to conduct more workshops. And also it would in turn will help you to get a certificate for the participation. All of you are hereby requested to fill the feedback form which has been posted in the chat box. So it is visible now. So you can just fill that particular form. Okay. So we'll conclude the session. At the outset, I thank our guest and the resource person for today's session, Professor Chetana from Maharani Cluster University. Chetana, we are really enlightened with your knowledge and your presence. And definitely our students have enriched and empowered with your insightful words. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time to share your knowledge on this English for front desk management. Thank you so much, Chetana.
Yeah,
on behalf of Padma Shri Institute of Management Sciences and on behalf of principal and the staff from the student community, I really express my sincere gratitude to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thamaiya.
I would like to thank our dearest principal, Dr. Anuradha Madam, for her enthusiastic support to organize this workshop. A special thanks to organizing committee, Dr. Indu, and our team making this event happening successfully. Our heartfelt thanks to our students and for their active participation. So with these warm words and kind message, we move to the end of today's workshop. So hope all of you have enjoyed this session. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the evening, 6 p.m. with a last session by Professor Kirtishri from Dayanand Sagar College. So hope all of you attend and we'll look forward to you in more numbers in the concluding session. Thank you so much. Thank you one and all. So I repeat, please fill the feedback form so that it will help you to get the certificate. So thank you all.
Thank you, Principal Madam. Thank you, Dr. Thamaiya, and thank you, Dr. Indu, and the faculty of Padma Shri, and dear students. Thank you all.
Special thanks to Dr. Shankar Murthy, Ashwini Somanna,
yes,
and
thanks,
other
Dr. Shankar
dear
Murthy,
friends, English fraternity,
Ashwini
were all attending.
Somanna,
Yeah.
and
Thank
other
you, ma'am.
friends. Thanks for listening to my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you one and all. See you tomorrow at 6 p.m. sharp.